Do you ever wake up feeling more tired than when you went to bed, even after what felt like a full night's sleep? It's a common complaint, isn't it? Especially as we get a little older. Many of us just sigh and put it down to getting on in years, believing that restless nights and groggy mornings are just an inevitable part of the journey after 70. But what if I told you that the secret to truly restorative sleep and vibrant health might not be about finding some magical potion, but rather about noticing some quiet, seemingly harmless habits you've fallen into right before you close your eyes? The truth is, there are certain bedtime routines, things we do almost without thinking, that are silently chipping away at our energy, our clarity, and even our overall well-being. These aren't grand, obvious health destroyers. They're subtle, insidious patterns that, over time, can have a profound impact on how we feel each day. In this video, we're going to gently uncover 6 of these very common bedtime habits that are quietly undermining your health after 70, and more importantly, we'll talk about simple, practical ways to shift them for a healthier, happier you. You might be surprised at how much difference these small changes can make. Watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you. Let's begin by looking at the first habit that often sneaks up on us as the evening winds down. And that's the habit of eating too much, or the wrong kinds of food, just before we try to sleep. We've all been there, haven't we? The day is done. You're finally relaxing. And suddenly that craving for a little something extra hits. Maybe it's a bowl of ice cream, a bag of crisps, or even a full, hearty meal if dinner was early. It feels comforting in the moment, a little treat to end the day. But here's the quiet truth: when you eat a large, heavy, or sugary meal late in the evening, especially after 7 o'clock, your body has to work overtime to digest it. Instead of shifting into its natural repair and rest cycle, your digestive system is now in full swing, churning away. This increased activity can actually raise your core body temperature and keep your internal systems buzzing, making it incredibly difficult to fall into the deep, restorative stages of sleep your body desperately needs. Think of it like this: your body wants to be winding down, dimming the lights, but you've just asked it to run a marathon. It's no wonder you wake up feeling sluggish, sometimes with heartburn or indigestion, and just generally not refreshed. Beyond simple discomfort, late-night eating, particularly sugary foods, sends your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. When you consume something sweet, your blood sugar spikes, and then your body releases insulin to bring it down. This fluctuation can disrupt your sleep cycle, causing you to wake up in the middle of the night, sometimes feeling hungry again, or even having night sweats. Over time, these frequent blood sugar spikes and drops can contribute to insulin resistance, a precursor to type 2 diabetes, which becomes a greater concern as we age. It's not just about what you eat, but for someone over 70 whose metabolism might be a little slower, and whose body is already working hard to maintain various systems, adding the burden of late-night digestion can be particularly detrimental. So, what's the actionable step here? Try to finish your last substantial meal at least 3 hours before you plan to go to bed. If you absolutely must have a snack, choose something small, light, and easy to digest. Think a small handful of almonds, a few slices of apple with a dab of peanut butter, or a little plain yogurt. These provide a gentle energy boost without overwhelming your digestive system. It's about being mindful, listening to your body, and giving it the grace it needs to prepare for a night of proper rest, rather than burdening it with a digestive task it's not designed for at that hour. Now, let's move on to the second silent health destroyer, and this one has become almost universal in our modern world: excessive screen time before bed. Whether it's your television, tablet, smartphone, or even a computer, these devices have become our constant companions. Right up until the moment we try to drift off, it feels natural, doesn't it, to unwind with a little television scroll through some social media, or catch up on the news before bed. But here's the quiet danger. All these screens emit what's called blue light. Our brains are incredibly sensitive to light, and blue light, in particular, mimics daylight. When your eyes detect blue light, especially in the evening, your brain gets a strong signal that it's still daytime. This suppresses the production of melatonin, the natural sleep hormone that tells your body it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. It's like trying to fall asleep in a brightly lit room. Even if your eyes are closed, your internal clock, your circadian rhythm, gets completely confused. For people over 70, this blue light exposure can be even more impactful. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less melatonin, making us more susceptible to sleep disturbances. Adding a significant dose of blue light right before bed can further exacerbate this natural decline, making it harder to fall asleep and reducing the quality of the sleep you do get. You might lie there feeling tired but wired, tossing and turning, unable to quiet your mind. Beyond the melatonin suppression, there's also the mental stimulation aspect. Watching an exciting show, reading dramatic news headlines, or engaging in conversations online keeps your brain highly active and alert. Instead of gradually slowing down and preparing for rest, your mind is racing, processing information, and staying engaged. It's like asking your brain to run a sprint right before telling it to go to sleep. It simply can't make that immediate switch. The actionable advice here is simple but powerful. Implement a digital sunset at least an hour, ideally 2. Before you plan to go to bed. This means turning off all screens. Instead, engage in relaxing activities. Read a physical book. Listen to a calming podcast or some soft music. Do some gentle stretching. Or have a quiet conversation with a loved one. Create a buffer zone between your day's activities and your sleep, allowing your mind and body to naturally transition into a state of relaxation. It takes conscious effort at first, but the improvement in your sleep quality will be a truly rewarding outcome. Now that we've discussed the importance of timing your meals and managing your screen exposure, let's consider another often overlooked habit that can significantly impact your nighttime rest. Continuing our journey into the quiet destroyers of healthy sleep, let's turn our attention to the often underestimated power of a consistent bedtime routine, or rather, the lack thereof. Many of us, especially as we get older and perhaps our schedules become a bit more flexible, fall into the habit of just winging it when it comes to bedtime. One night we might stay up late watching a show. The next we hit the hay early because we're tired. And the next we're up late on a video call with the grandkids. While this flexibility can feel liberating, a wildly inconsistent bedtime can wreak havoc on your body's natural internal clock, your circadian rhythm. Think of your body as having a very precise, internal clock that thrives on regularity. It dictates when you feel sleepy, when you wake up, and even when certain hormones are released, when you consistently go to bed and wake up at different times. Even on weekends, you're essentially giving your internal clock mixed signals. It never quite knows when to prepare for rest or when to be alert, leading to fragmented sleep, difficulty falling asleep, and feeling groggy even after a full night in bed. For those over 70, this disruption is particularly potent because our circadian rhythms can naturally become a bit less robust with age. Adding inconsistency to that can seriously undermine your ability to achieve deep, restorative sleep. It's not just about when you get into bed, but the consistent signals you send to your body. So, what can you do? The actionable step is to establish a simple, calming bedtime routine and stick to it as much as possible. Even on weekends, this doesn't need to be elaborate. It could be as simple as having a warm, caffeine-free herbal tea, doing a few minutes of gentle stretching or deep breathing exercises, reading a physical book, or listening to some quiet music. The key is to do these things in the same order, at roughly the same time, every night. This consistent sequence of activities signals to your brain that sleep is coming, allowing your body to gradually wind down, release those calming chemicals, and prepare for rest. It's about building a bridge from your active day to your restful night, one gentle step at a time. This ritual, over time, becomes a powerful cue for your body, making falling asleep much easier and the quality of your sleep far better. Now, let's gently shift our focus to another habit that many unknowingly adopt, often with the best intentions, but which can severely disrupt nighttime tranquility: drinking too much fluid, especially certain types of fluids, too close to bedtime. Hydration is incredibly important for health at any age, and especially as we get older. We're often told to drink plenty of water throughout the day, and that advice is absolutely spot on. However, when the sun goes down and bedtime approaches, excessive fluid intake can become a major sleep interrupter. The most obvious consequence is the need for frequent trips to the bathroom during the night. Waking up multiple times to use the toilet not only breaks your sleep cycle, but can make it very difficult to fall back asleep, especially if you find yourself fully awake and alert each time. This fragmented sleep prevents you from reaching the deeper stages of sleep that are crucial for physical and mental restoration. Beyond just the volume of fluid, the type of beverage matters immensely. Many people enjoy a cup of tea or coffee in the evening, or perhaps a nightcap with alcohol. While these might seem relaxing, they are actually diuretics, meaning they make your body produce more urine. A cup of coffee, even decaf, might have residual stimulating effects for some, but the diuretic effect is definite. Alcohol, while it might initially make you feel drowsy, severely disrupts the architecture of your sleep, leading to fragmented, non-restorative rest later in the night. You might fall asleep faster, but the quality of that sleep will be significantly compromised. For someone over 70 whose bladder capacity might naturally be reduced, or who might already be waking up more frequently, adding this extra burden can turn a restless night into an impossible one. So, what's the actionable advice? Try to front-load your hydration earlier in the day. Drink plenty of water in the morning and afternoon. As evening approaches, begin to taper off your fluid intake, especially after 7 or 8 p.m. If you must drink, take small sips. Absolutely avoid caffeinated beverages and alcohol in the hours leading up to bedtime. If you find yourself thirsty, a small amount of plain water or a very mild, non-diuretic herbal tea, like chamomile, might be okay. But pay attention to how your body responds. It's about finding that balance between staying well hydrated during the day and allowing your body to rest uninterrupted throughout the night. Finally, for this section, let's address a pervasive internal habit that silently steals our sleep, letting worries and anxieties pile up and fester once your head hits the pillow. Many of us find that as soon as the lights are out and the quiet descends, our minds decide it's the perfect time to review the day's stresses, ponder future problems, or rehash old concerns. It could be worries about health, finances, family, or even just the endless to-do list for tomorrow. This mental rumination, this constant churning of thoughts, creates an internal state of arousal that is utterly incompatible with sleep. Instead of drifting off peacefully, your brain is actively engaged, problem-solving, worrying, and remaining on high alert. This isn't just about feeling stressed. This prolonged mental activity can keep your body in a state of fight or flight, releasing stress hormones like cortisol, which are designed to keep you awake and vigilant. For those over 70, the challenges and changes of life can sometimes bring new anxieties, and the quiet of the night can amplify them. If this internal chatter becomes your default bedtime activity, it profoundly impacts not only how quickly you fall asleep, but also the depth and quality of your sleep. You might wake up feeling mentally exhausted, as if your brain has been working all night, rather than resting. The actionable step here is to create a mental dumping ground before you even get into bed. About an hour or two before you plan to sleep, take 10-15 minutes to write down any worries, concerns, or tasks that are on your mind. Get them out of your head and onto paper. This simple act acknowledges the thoughts without letting them hijack your night. Once they're written down, make a conscious decision to deal with them in the morning. You can even write a comforting phrase at the bottom, like, "I will address these tomorrow." For immediate anxieties that pop up once in bed, try a simple breathing exercise. Slowly inhale for a count of 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Repeat this a few times. This technique calms your nervous system and gives your mind something else to focus on. It's about training your brain to switch off the worry engine and allow itself the peace it needs to rest deeply. Next, we'll dive into the final habit that often goes unnoticed but profoundly impacts your health, as we reach the 6th and final silent sleep destroyer. It's one that's often overlooked because it deals with the very environment you sleep in, sleeping in a room that's either too brightly lit or too noisy. We tend to think that once our eyes are closed, light and sound don't matter, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Our bodies are incredibly sensitive to external cues, and a sleep environment that isn't optimized for rest can constantly send signals that disrupt your sleep quality, even if you're not consciously aware of them. Let's start with light. Even a small amount of light, whether it's from a street lamp outside, a charging phone, a digital alarm clock, or even light spilling from another room, can interfere with your body's melatonin production. Remember, melatonin is the hormone that signals to your body that it's time to sleep. Even faint light detected by your eyelids can be enough to suppress this crucial hormone, making it harder to fall asleep and, more importantly, reducing the amount of deep, restorative sleep you get. It's like your body is trying to settle down for the night, but there's always a dim lamp left on, keeping it subtly on alert. For those over 70 who might already be experiencing natural declines in melatonin production, even minimal light can have a disproportionately large impact, leading to fragmented sleep and an inability to feel truly rested. Then there's noise, whether it's traffic outside, a snoring partner, a ticking clock, or even the hum of household appliances. Unexpected or continuous sounds can prevent your brain from fully relaxing and entering those deep sleep cycles. Your brain is always monitoring your environment for potential threats. Even during sleep, a sudden loud noise can jolt you awake, but even consistent low-level noise can keep your brain in a lighter, more reactive sleep state. This means you're not getting the quality sleep needed for memory consolidation, cellular repair, and emotional regulation. It's like trying to have a deep conversation in a noisy restaurant. You might hear the words, but you're constantly strained and missing nuances. For older adults, who may be more prone to lighter sleep stages, or have conditions that make them more sensitive to disturbances, a noisy environment can be particularly detrimental, leading to chronic sleep deprivation and all its associated health problems, from impaired cognition to increased risk of falls. So, what are the actionable steps to transform your sleep environment into a sanctuary? First, prioritize darkness. Invest in blackout curtains or blinds that truly block out all external light. If that's not possible or practical, consider an eye mask. Make sure all light-emitting devices in your room are either covered, turned off, or removed. Even the tiniest LED light can be disruptive. Think about unplugging chargers or turning devices face down. Second, address noise. If external noise is an issue, consider using earplugs. They might take some getting used to, but many people find them incredibly effective. Alternatively, a white noise machine or a fan can be a game changer. The consistent, gentle hum of white noise can mask sudden, jarring sounds, providing a soothing backdrop that helps your brain relax and stay in a deeper sleep state. For internal noises, like a snoring partner, addressing the root cause is best, but a white noise machine can also help. The goal is to create a peaceful, dark, and quiet haven that sends an unmistakable signal to your body. It's time to rest and rejuvenate. Making these simple adjustments to your sleep environment can profoundly improve your sleep quality and, by extension, your overall health and vitality. So, there you have it, 6 seemingly harmless bedtime habits that, when allowed to persist, can quietly diminish your health and well-being after 70. We've talked about the hidden dangers of late-night eating, especially those heavy or sugary foods, and how they force your digestive system to work overtime when it should be resting. We explored the pervasive impact of excessive screen time, particularly the blue light that confuses your body's natural sleep signals and keeps your mind buzzing. We also delved into the importance of a consistent bedtime routine, showing how a predictable sequence of calming activities can gently guide your body into a state of readiness for sleep, rather than leaving your internal clock bewildered. Then, we discussed how even good intentions with hydration can go awry if you're drinking too much, or the wrong kinds of fluids, too close to bedtime, leading to disruptive nighttime awakenings. We also shone a light on the mental habit of letting worries pile up in bed, and how powerful it can be to proactively dump those concerns before your head even hits the pillow. And finally, we just talked about the critical role your sleep environment plays, emphasizing the need for true darkness and quiet to allow your body to achieve deep, restorative rest. It might seem like a lot to take in, but remember, these aren't about drastic overhauls. They're about small, mindful shifts in habits that have crept into our evenings. Each of these changes, even implemented one at a time, has the potential to unlock a significantly better night's sleep. And with it, a renewed sense of energy, mental clarity, and overall vitality during your waking hours. You don't have to be perfect, just persistent. Even small improvements can lead to profound benefits for your health and happiness. Imagine waking up feeling truly refreshed, ready to embrace the day with more enthusiasm and less brain fog. That's the power of reclaiming your nights. We're all on this journey of life together, navigating the joys and challenges that come with each passing year, and one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, especially as we move beyond 70, is the gift of quality rest. It's the foundation upon which all other aspects of our health are built. We'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed any of these habits in your own life? What strategies have you found helpful in improving your sleep? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insights could be incredibly helpful to someone else in our community. If you found this video helpful and believe it could benefit others, please give it a thumbs up. It truly helps our channel reach more people who might be struggling. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel for more practical tips and encouragement to live your best life at every age. Thank you for spending this time with us. Here's to many more nights of peaceful, restorative sleep and vibrant, joyful days ahead. Live your best life at every age.